Hey, what's going on, dudes? This is everybody. It's David into Heaven, and we are back with another video. Now, in this video, guys, I'm going to be talking to you guys about the prediction. I'm going to be, talking about the predictions. I'm going to be making a prediction for the upcoming F1 Sochi Grand Prix race. Now, it's obvious, I think, who my predictions are. I mean, I'm going to give you a prediction for who I think is going to win the pole, top 5, and underdog pick to finish the best. And that'll be it for this video. So we're just going to start off with how the last race went. I mean, the last race was kind of really, just boring. Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen almost got into a good fight. Sergio Perez hit Sergei Sorokin, and Sorokin started going crazy and hitting a lot of drivers, driving people off the track. And he ended up getting a penalty death. So did Sergio Perez for what he did with Sergei. But when Roman Grosjean and Sergei Sorokin were fighting, Lewis Hamilton almost lost the lead, which would have probably been very good for Verstappen, but Lewis Hamilton was able to keep him behind himself, was able to keep Verstappen behind him, and ended up winning the race. And Vettel finished third, and the championship is now 40 points, which means all Hamilton has to do is really just keep on finishing second or first. And Hamilton will definitely win the championship this season in Formula 1. But now we move on to the Russian Grand Prix. A Grand Prix that's been dominated by Mercedes, so I don't expect anything less this weekend. Now, when it comes to who I think is going to get pulled, my top 3 in qualifying, Hamilton is going to get pulled, obviously, for me. Bottas is going to get second, and Vettel is going to get third. The reason I think Bottas and Hamilton are going to get a 1-2 is because that track has just been dominated by Mercedes. The last, 4 years, Mercedes has always won at that track. I don't know, they haven't always gotten pole, but they've always dominated that track when it comes to the race. I think it's going to happen in qualifying. Even though it's technically a power circuit, and Ferrari do have the better power unit, I think Mercedes will bounce back and get a 1-2 on qualifying day. Now, when it comes to the race, my top 5 are my top 3 are still the same. Hamilton to win the race. Bottas to finish second, which means it's a Mercedes 1-2. Vettel to get third. But after that, 4th and 5th, that's a real toss-up because you got the Red Bulls, you got. I mean, anything can happen in Sochi. There's some guys that could retire in that race, and nobody knows who's gonna finish where. But if I honestly had to say 4th and 5th for the Russian Grand Prix, I would probably have to say Kimi Räikkönen to finish 4th, and then Max Verstappen to finish 5th. Because Ricciardo's had such a string of bad luck. It's so sad to see Ricciardo have a streak of bad luck, because I actually like Ricciardo. I think he's a very good driver. And I'm actually happy he's going to Renault, considering Red Bull is going to have Honda engines next year, because I don't think the Honda engines are going to work out for Red Bull. But when it comes to my underdog pick for who I think is going to finish the best, I'm not going to be biased. I'm not going to say Fernando. I'm not, because Fernando sometimes can perform, sometimes cannot. I honestly think the one that's going to perform the best in the Russian Grand Prix that's not a top 6 car is honestly going to be Roman Grosjean. Or possibly I'm gonna go with Esteban Ocon, just because that guy needs to perform in order to prove himself for a good drive, and I think he will be. Force India have the Mercedes engine, so they will have the power over most teams like McLaren, Haas, and Renault. So I think Force India will definitely be doing good at the Russian Grand Prix, and I do believe Esteban Ocon will finish the best of the rest, basically. But that's basically it. So yeah, Lewis Hamilton to get the sweep the weekend, basically pole and the win. I don't know about fastest lap. Fastest lap could be anyone. Fastest lap, I'll just say Fernando Alonso. He almost did it in Singapore. Why not do it in Russia? I mean, all he just needs to do is put on some fast tires and he can deliver a good lap. And hopefully that Renault engine's good enough for him. But yeah. My prediction is Lewis Hamilton to win the Russian Grand Prix and probably extend his championship lead further. What is that, 25 to 15? That'd be 10 points, so the championship would be 50 points. But anyway, guys, I will see you guys all later. Thank you guys for all the support, and see you guys later. Peace.